Hello there, and after quite a long time, welcome back to Hollow Knight. And upon booting the game up, I certainly wasn't expecting to see a quite changed title screen. I think this is because of the second DLC pack, which is actually indicated there in the lower right corner. The little essence symbol indicates the first update, I think. Well, that little red mask indicates the second one. And I'll be getting into both of those content updates here. Here we see my attempted... excuse me. My attempted second playthrough of the game, which I kind of gave up on rather quickly. I think it's just the sheer prospect of going through this massive game again. And it's just, there were so many other good games that I have yet to play that, as good as this is, I just didn't really feel the desire to push forward beyond Green Path. I was glad though that I did it, if only because I got to re-experience Green Path with a clear head. If you watched this full playthrough, you're probably well aware I did not enjoy it all that much the first time, mostly due to my own fault. With the fact that I unwittingly sequence broke. Well, okay, not unwittingly, I did it on purpose, but then I kind of forgot that I had done that and started complaining about the game, the level being designed poorly, completely ignoring the fact that it was quote-unquote designed poorly because I went through it in not the intended progression path. Yeah, that was dumb of me. But yeah, I went through Green Path, up through the area in this file, and I enjoyed it a lot more. In fact, I think it might be my favorite area in the game now, at least as far as base game content is concerned, just because it's so lush, so verdant, so full of life, and there's just so many tiny details. It's just a really well designed area. But we're not going to be using that because of course I won't be able to access the new content right away, so it's time to bring back the good old number 1. My 100% completed save. So, about the DLC packs, I know very much what? I know about the first DLC pack, the 2 new bosses that it introduces, as well as the new method of fast travel, which I'm honestly not sure how we make use of it. I know it involves the Dream Nail, but I probably should have read up on this a little bit more. Let's see. It might be something from the menu, perhaps? Here we go. Dreamgate allows the wielder to travel instantly through Dream. So hold down... while using the Dream Nail. Oh, to set a Dreamgate and then hold up to spend 1 essence to travel to it. Oh, so this works differently than how I thought it would have. I figured that this method of travel would allow us to travel between the, I forget what they're called. I think they're marked on the map. Let's look at that. Yeah, let's zoom in and look at the Legend Whispering Roots. Yes, that's what they were called. Those little trees with wheels on them. I figured they would be fixed fast travel points considering they were scattered pretty well enough throughout the areas that they seemed like a natural fit. But no, the fast travel system they included is actually even better than that, although not for my purposes, given that I've already beaten the game. It's the equivalent of the old mark and recall spells that you saw in a lot of early 90s CRPGs, which I'm assuming was a D&D thing as well, just knowing those games. But yeah, you can actually set your own fast travel points, and then return to them. I guess not here, but in most areas. I wonder just how many you can place at a time. I hope it's not limited to 1 because that would reduce the overall value of this fast travel system, although it would still be useful. I just love the idea of a fast travel system, whoa, that's a lot of fog, that allows you to set up your own fast travel points. That's one of the things I love most about the game Dragon's Dogma. That's how fast travel works there. Yeah, I think Hornet's saying the same thing as she was last time. I'd be surprised if she was saying anything new. I don't believe she's involved in any of the newly added content. So yeah, great fast travel system, but it doesn't help me because, you know, having played through the game prior to its addition, I never got the chance to add in any of these custom fast travel points. So I kind of can't make use of it. That's fine. The travel in the base game was swift enough. I did have my complaints about it in some instances, yes, but it was overall well enough done. So let's get up to Dirtmouth and do the first thing, or one of the things of the first DLC packs. So yeah, as I was saying, but then interrupted myself as I am wont to do, I know what the first content pack is about. I know both of the bosses it adds. Oh, hey there, Saluba. Been a long time see. I knew about the fast travel, although clearly not how it worked. And I know what those bosses are and where they are, so let's get to doing the first one. In, what's-her-name's house? Actually, you know what? What is her name? I'm curious. Did it give her a name, or did it have one of those, like, descriptors? Beretta, that's her name, yeah. I think I might have even commented once that that is a very pretty name. Oh, and... ah, yes, this is her diary. I thought it might be a collectible, but yeah. So, one of the bosses added is, in Beretta's basement, of all places. Turns out that she is so enamored with Zote that she has created an effigy of him, an effigy that is powered by dream soul essence stuff. Does that mean that, like, Beretta is kind of like a demigod almost, or like some sort of divine being that she can create something like this? Or is that just so how strong the power of her devotion is that it does it even though she's otherwise a perfectly normal insect? Well, when these symbols appear, you know what to do. Dream Nail. It just occurred to me that I probably should have had a look at my charm setup. Oh well, maybe I'll do fine. So, before I drop down, let's actually look at it while things are relatively peaceful. So I have Shaman Stone, that boosts my spell power. Soul Eater, which means I collect more soul when striking with my nail. Dream Wielder, which does the same thing, but, and this is a correction I only know due to an LP I've been watching by Highway, it only affects the soul that you gain when striking with the Dream Nail. Which, from the description, does make sense, but it was stated in an, in my opinion, ambiguous enough way that I thought it meant just any strikes. No, specifically if you strike enemies with the Dream Nail, you know, this charge-up attack, that's when you get boosted soul. And I think maybe now even a little bit of essence or something. They've added ways to give you more essence, to make the new essence costing fast travel system work within the already established framework. So yeah, every time I had this equipped, I was not making use of it because I was never attacking anything with the Dream Nail. So whoops on that. It only cost 1 notch, and there aren't many other useful 1-notch charms, so eh. And then we have the Shape of Un, that's right. I was making use of that to scuttle around during the final boss while trying to heal. Probably shouldn't waste my soul beforehand, though, now that I think about it. I'm gonna need it for this boss. Alright, so jumping right into things after having not played for like half a year with a new boss. Probably not the best idea, but let's see how it goes. Terrifying, beautiful, powerful Great Prince Zote, yep. Oh, I wish I had gone in completely blind, but it is what it is. Alright, I can jump straight over that, that's good to see. He summons little mini Zotes. Right, I have my Shadow Dash. Good thing I have those iframes, otherwise I would have gotten hit there. Much like I was there. Ooh, yeah, this guy is rough. Definitely having my first experience be a super boss optional challenge thing was not a great idea. I'm probably gonna die sooner rather than later, especially since it doesn't look like I'm getting too many opportunities to heal. So I think I might change my charm setup to account for the fact that there aren't too many healing opportunities. Although there are a few. Like that one there that I just kind of immediately wasted by taking damage. Ooh. How are you supposed to deal with that? I guess you just Yeah, time your movements really well. Okay. I think perhaps before I elect that again, that fight, that I should maybe, just maybe, consider a new charm setup. So let's do that. I'm thinking that more health, whether permanent or the temporary health, might be a good idea. Oh, so this must be something that the second DLC pack added, because I've not actually read or seen anything about that. I'm probably gonna have to look up some non-spoilery information just to know where to find the stuff. But it must have added 4 new charms. That's interesting. Kinda wanna look that up and do that now first, so I have those charms available for longer, but I'll do them in the order of release. That makes the most sense to me. So immediately let's get rid of the Dream Wielder charm, it's just not useful. And given the fact that healing is difficult anyway, I don't think the Shape of Un is going to be all that helpful. So I think I might be able to equip one of the Lifeblood charms, yeah, the core. This is the toughest one to get. And it's overall the best, at least if you don't want to dedicate all of your health into Lifeblood. Yeah, look at that. 4 extra hits. Temporary, but kinda the same thing as permanent ones, given my limited healing options anyway. Okay, so let's see if having 4 extra hits allows me to at least survive a little bit longer and learn the fight a little bit more. I already have a better idea of how to approach the fight and avoid the mighty Zoat's attacks, now that I know what to look for. The question is, can I actually execute those plans? Terrifying, beautiful, powerful, great Prince Zoat. Oh, I love this. I wonder if this is something they were planning from the start, or if they just did after they saw how well, I'm assuming, that Zoat was received among the fandom. He was well received, right? You couldn't hate Zoat. He's such a mighty and strong warrior, as we're seeing here. No one knows about Zoat better than his loving mistress Bretta, the Queen of the Wolves. That's what I'm imagining she sees herself as in this whole situation. Oop. Didn't jump quick enough, my bad. Yep, there goes that lifeblood. Ooh, okay. So I get him to his second phase, I guess. That's what that signifies. Yep, he's got some slightly new attack patterns. Deal with the minions post-haste so they don't become too much of an issue. It's when he slowly trundles along like that that really catches me. I thought he was going to do the fast run and move to respond to that. But no, he in fact moved much more slowly and that caught me. That's good though. Yeah, nearly caught me again. So I still have stuff to learn. And that's fine. Because if this boss didn't take me a bunch of attempts, well, it just wouldn't be appropriate for the mighty Zoat now, would it? So yeah, I kind of want to stay behind him when he does that because the shockwave that goes backwards is a lot smaller. Oh, there we go, there's another one. Gonna try and heal here. Nice. Okay, that gives me 2 extra hits. That might help me. God, I love that attack so much. Just even within Bretta's own dreams, just Zoat, the actual Zoat, is so pathetic that the buffed Zoat's attack still looks so ridiculous. Like, this is literally just Zoat's flailing around, but slightly more threatening and dignified, I guess. And it's just wonderful. Alright, come on. Gotta get a chance to heal. That was not it. Yeah, I just wasted that soul and that health point. Oh dear. Yeah, this is probably gonna take at least the 3rd attempt. Unless, come on, give me the chance to heal. Okay. So I wasn't sure what would happen when he was doing that flailing running attack if I stayed in one corner. I was hoping he would travel far enough the other way that I'd get a chance to heal, but no, he immediately corrects course. Okay. But I think I did make it fairly far, so I might have it this attempt. Let's just, focus on the fight. Okay, focusing not going so well, so that's that lifeblood gone. My bad. Yeah, you really just don't get any opportunities to cleanly heal in this fight, which is good. That's how you design a tough fight in this game. And really, this is meant to be more of an endgame thing, I think, anyway, so if it wasn't difficult, again, it just wouldn't be well designed. I mean, as far as difficult bosses in this game goes, this one doesn't seem so bad just yet, but I am aware of the conditions of this fight after you've beaten it at least once, so I know why that is. Not to spoil anything for those who don't know. We'll see afterwards. If this is a successful attempt, that is. Okay, nice. I am doing a lot better, even if I did immediately lose those lifeblood hearts I had. Yeah, no, don't heal during those attempts. I've tried it like 3 times now, and it's not worked once. It just leaves me so much worse off. That actually might be a decent time to heal if I do it really quickly. That's gonna be difficult. For now, I'm just waiting for another one of those phase breaks. I was gonna call it phase transition, but that's not really what it is now, is it? Perfect. Oh, and that's the fight. I really don't need a heal now. In fact, I should go over to see his death animation. Aw, poor Dreambretta. Okay, so yeah, that was the beautiful, dangerous something Zote the Mighty. I forget all the adjectives. But as you may notice, one of the candles in the background is now lit, and there's a whole bunch of candles. Let's go back in there. Thankfully, entering a dream does restore all my health. So yes, this is a fight that you can, well, refight. Kinda would like if they added that option for the other bosses, but c'est la vie. At least there's some option for farming. And now he's the gorgeous, passionate, terrifying, beautiful, powerful Great Prince Zote. And that is more than just a cosmetic change. Yep, as you'll notice, he's a fair bit buffer, at least I think he is, visually. But he also has some new minions to summon. So yeah, this is one of those fights where every time you beat it, you can then refight it, but in a tougher state. That reminds me a hell of a lot of the final optional boss from Dragon Quest VIII, which has the exact same setup. It's a badass dragon dude who has 7 different dragon forms. And each time you fight him and beat him, you end up fighting one of the stronger forms next. Ultimately culminating with you fighting all 7 forms straight in a row with no breaks in between, which is really rough, I gotta tell you, to the point that I've never even done it. I attempted it, but I never completed it. And then after beating all those previous forms, you get a whole, even tougher new form to fight. In this case, it's a fair bit more simple. It's just a slightly stronger Zote each time. I believe that at his strongest state, he ends up doing 2 damage with every one of his attacks, and just has like double the amount of attacks that his initial variant has. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. Maybe at some point later on my own time, but probably not on camera. Just because that's gonna be a lot of the same thing or similar enough stuff over and over that I don't think it's especially worth watching. If you disagree, feel free to comment to the contrary and maybe I'll record that. But yeah, that's my plans as of now. So we'll see how this attempt goes. I'm probably gonna die, but maybe I'll do it. And whatever comes to pass, we'll be moving on to the other bit of new content that was added in the first DLC pack. Okay, good. I finally got that chance to heal. Come on. Okay, I got 2 pips. That's decent. That's enough to survive a little bit longer. Making good use of my magic. I wonder just how quickly you can access this fight, because I'm not actually aware of how quickly you can do that. So maybe the reason why I'm not having all that tough of a time is because it's balanced for somewhat earlier in the game. The initial variants, you know, the way that it's meant to work, fully integrated into the base experience now is that, say, you fight the first variant fairly early on, and then as you go throughout the game, you fight the progressively stronger ones for some more soul and essence and whatnot. I do get essence for doing that, right? Because that's the whole point of being able to refight it. Maybe not. Okay, well, that was a pretty fun experience, but moving on to the next one. Okay, so the next bit of new content is actually rather interestingly located because it's tied to a very well-hidden secret that was already there in the base game. A secret so well hidden that I never actually found it myself. And even now, knowing the tells, I still think it's a little bit too well hidden. Especially considering some of the extra lore details you get from it. It's, I mean, not important, but interesting enough that I kinda wish the game guided you to it a bit more. So, you see this little bit of ground to the left of me, now that it's not covered by those foreground objects. See how it has some slight cracks in it? That's the one tell that the game gives you to know that you should do this. Yep. And what are we in here but the home of the Dung Defender? I mean, I guess it makes sense that he has his home down here, but... And like, that's what you're supposed to use, then that plus the cracks to intuit that that's how you make your way down here, but good golly gosh, is that stupidly well hidden. I do like the detail of him having his own king's idol here, including one larger one made from dung in the background. Because he is one of the 4 knights, and he still adores his king. So yeah, the other extra boss fight is here when he's sleeping. And I do believe that within the lore, the statues in the back are of the other 4 knights. I think how this works is, actually, because there's 5 of them. Maybe there were 5 knights? I'm not super up to date on my Hollow Knight lore, so I'm just gonna shut up before I say something stupid. Let's just do the boss fight, which, even though I know it exists, and know what it's called, I've not ever actually seen it, so I am, as far as where it counts, perfectly blind on this, so let's go. So yeah, the whole setup is that this is the Dung Defender in his prime, back when the king was still alive, and so far I see it is a much rougher version of the regular fight. I am so very glad I have those iframes. I don't think I'd be able to avoid taking damage there. And I'm definitely going to want to bounce the dung balls away since they do not disappear easily, and if I can bounce them toward him, I can do some extra damage as well. And that helps. I think I might focus on my nail and my magic though, because those are a lot stronger. My magic especially, thanks to that one charm. So, my lifeblood has almost run out, but it's given me a much better chance at things than otherwise, so... Thank you, Lifeblood, for making a valuable contribution to the war effort. I do not know how I avoided taking... How are you supposed to avoid that without iframes? Maybe you're not. Maybe you can, like, bounce off of it or something? Or maybe bounce off of him if you're closer by? No, that wouldn't work, huh? Yeah, the only way I can see to avoid that as of now is with iframes. Okay, I've kind of run out of soul, so let's do some melee attacks. Maybe not so much spamming because that does not lead to anything good. Chance to heal. I know he's gonna have another phase. This is too easy to be all that there is. And I'm pretty sure that unlike Zote, he doesn't get stronger every time. It's a one and done dealie. Gonna have to focus on getting soul back for healing. Can't use it for offense. Or maybe I should, just to end the fight a little bit more quickly. It's hard to say. Oh, there we go. My favorite, Doma Doma Doma. Oh, I love this dude so much. He's the best boss in both iterations. Perhaps not the most fun to fight, because there are a lot of others that are really good, but just in terms of concept and execution and his sheer exuberant joy. It's hard not to have this be your favorite. Maybe that's just me though, and it looks like I'll get to experience it plenty more because, yeah. That was not a successful attempt. Notice how I always do my worst when I kind of get stressed, get in a tizzy, and I just try and spam the enemy to death. I don't know why I resort to that. I know that's not an effective strategy in this game, not versus the bosses, and yet I always default to that in moments of stress like that, and it doesn't work out well. Well, I'm kind of glad I got this second chance because I just noticed that really nice detail in the background. The fact that there's the king in his throne with his 4 knights, so that's why there were 5 dung figures out there, I guess. God, just... It's nice to see that even with their new, completely free, mind you, content, these DLC packs are 100% free, which is even more so than the default $15 price tag of Real Crime. Like, I feel like each DLC pack could probably be like maybe $4 or $5 and it would be totally justified. And I really would not mind monetarily supporting Team Cherry more because I've made it clear before my opinion that the game is by default way too cheap and should cost more just because Team Cherry deserves more money. But yeah, like even now with this new free content, they have not dropped in quality at all. And honestly, while the content is pretty simple, you know, just 2 new boss fights, these are some really good boss fights. I guess it helps that they're, well, this one at least is just a souped up version of a pre-existing fight, so you already have that design in mind. And you basically have it as a blueprint to work from, compared to Zote, who was completely original and thus probably a lot more difficult. Of course, all my thoughts on game design matters are very much, this is not a good attempt, are very much armchair game design since I have no experience or education in that matter. I'm talking out my ass is what I'm saying. That's a more eloquent way of saying it. Oh dear. Oh, I knew I should have dashed. I tried batting it back, but I don't think you can do it with those small ones. I think they just shatter. It's hard to pay attention to all the details of what happens in this fight, even the results of your own actions. Just because of how... Yeah, they just break, just because of how chaotic it is. Oh, I didn't think that one would bounce off the wall to hit me like that. I thought I had a chance to heal. Okay. Let's see if this is going to be another 3rd attempt success. I feel like I've gotten pretty far in the fight. At least if he has about the same amount of health as the mighty Zote. Let's actually check out over to the left here, just to make sure there's not anything hidden. I noticed this little bit of wall. Obviously, if it's this difficult to make your way up, there's not going to be something hidden there per se, but I might be able to, like, break geometry if I time things just right. Because I have my double jump. How do you do the... Okay, that was the button for the crystal dash. Because I think I can just bounce barely off of the smallest bit of wall up here. Maybe not, though. Yeah, no, see, I can do a wall jump off of it. That means if I time it just right, I should be able to use my crystal heart, although maybe there's not enough room. Yeah, okay, there doesn't seem to be enough room. It has a bit of a charge-up time when you're sliding down. Because I was hoping to maybe make it up, crystal dash, and then jump once I made it near enough to that 3rd ledge up there. As it is, I might just, have to make do with a wall jump. Okay, yeah, this works. I gotta see if I can, like, break this little bit of extra content. See if there's anything special hidden up there. Oh, I think I just rebounded off a straight-up invisible wall. How cheap, Team Cherry, and here I was just exalting their good gameplay design. Invisible walls, while understandable as being an easy way of walling off places players aren't supposed to get to, are just way too lazy of a way to do that. And no, that's not just me being upset that I can't get into areas where I'm not supposed to. Yeah, it looks like I actually, stop in the height of my jump even though I have a little bit further to go. Yeah, there's definitely an invisible wall there. I'm gonna give this a few more attempts though, just to confirm that. So maybe if I... Yeah, okay. That was pretty much perfect. I should not have started heading back down as soon as I did, so yeah. Can't make my way up there. That's fine. Okay, third time. Gonna focus. I am not getting many opportunities to heal. Oh dear. Should I call this bullet hell or dung hell? Who am I kidding? It's dung heaven. I'm not judging the distance of my dash very well here. That's causing me to take so many extra hits that could have very easily been avoided. Oh, you jerk. Okay. Doesn't look like it's gonna be a third time's the charm unless he's very close to dead. Which it doesn't look like he is. Okay, that's fine. I am perfectly okay fighting this dude as many times as it takes to beat him. It is just such a fun fight. Doesn't mean I'm gonna go down easily. Okay. So, that was all just the warm-up, the foreplay. Now we have the real fight. Either that or this is his last hurrah. I think given the sheer speed, it might be more of a last hurrah. Ah, damn it. I feel like I was close. Okay. Okay, made it here much more swiftly than last time. Now that I'm more familiar with his attack patterns, I've been able to get more aggressive myself. And that greatly reduces the time. I also took a lot less damage in general, so that's how you know that I'm improving. And I now know how to respond to his attacks on the fly, at least somewhat. Still looking for a good chance to heal here, though, which doesn't look like I'm getting. That would have been an okay one, but it is risky. There are those chances to heal where maybe you can get a heal off, but it's not guaranteed, and it's hard to know if you should risk it. This is a good one. Takes a while for these to make their way over, and depending on how they fly their trajectory, they might not even be able to hit you. This is another great one. Just bounce him and any of the dung balls that come your way, and you get a really good chance to heal. That's also a good chance if you're not in the path of one of those mini dungs. Oh dear. Okay, wish I had a little bit more soul, but that's fine. I can get soul pretty easily from him. I'm not sure if it's my charms, but I feel like I'm getting a shit ton of soul from him per hit. Which does at least mean I never don't have the resources to heal. It's just looking for the time that I gotta worry about. Oh, and there we go. Achievement unlocked. Memory. Oh, I just realized if I get an achievement... Aw, poor dude. I just realized that since I get an achievement for that, but not for Zote... My friends, I will protect our dear kingdom. Have faith in me. We will all meet again. I promise it. Yeah, I feel so bad for the dude. Almost as bad as knowing that I will probably end up having to beat Zote all those times to get an achievement for that, since I didn't get it for just beating him once. But okay. Okay, I actually did get essence for that one. Good. So that's all of the content added in the first update pack. And next time, we'll be getting to the second DLC pack. The... Wild Hunt? No, that's a Witcher thing. It has a name similar to that. I forget exactly what it is, but I'll, in the meantime, look up the location of the stuff it added, and we'll be getting to doing that, so look forward.